Hi, this is Maggie from Crafts the Charm. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm so glad you're here. And you can see right here I'm in Night Cafe and I've been generating some AI art. I had the idea that I wanted to mash up Valentine's Day and Halloween. I know there are a lot of people who love Halloween, and I thought that it actually makes a pretty good mashup in a horrible way, but also in a cute way. So I wanted to go for the cute way. So you can see I've generated some images here, and I might generate more, but I thought I might work with some that I have here. And I used a couple of different, like 3 different prompts. I like this one, and you can see the prompt I used. A Valentine's image in the style of a mid-century illustration, but featuring a witch and Halloween black cat. I accidentally put witch in another time, pink and orange colors. And I think I might have switched it up a little for this one. A Valentine's image in the style of a mid-century illustration, but featuring one witch and Halloween black cat. Oh, there's and witch again. And then I switched to ghosts and jack-o'-lanterns. You can see this one says Fix Faces Refunded. That was just me wondering. If you go to this menu, you can see all of these different enhancements. And I thought, oh, well, let's just see what happens if I fix faces on these completely fake faces. I can probably do fix faces on like one of these witch ones. So you can see those faces are a little strange. Let's see. So I'll fix 2. I could scroll this before. Oh, there we go. Okay, 2. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, they're not looking at each other, but the faces are better. Yeah. I wonder if I still have access to the original one. It looks like I don't, so I should have downloaded that if I liked the original face first. Anyway, I was looking for, like, the cat is the Valentine, you know. So this one, which I like a lot, doesn't really give you that impression so much as this one. But I think I'll just download this one and bring it into Photoshop because I want to make the ghosts look a little bit more like ghosts. Like, I'm not sure about this nose. I want to get rid of that nose. I do like the little hearts on the cheeks. I like this crackly heart, and I like the trees. Maybe we should have more of a heart moon than, you know, just hearts in the sky. I don't know. So I think I'm going to bring this one into Photoshop and edit it a little bit. So you can download these. There's a little download button here. So let's do that. Now, if I want to put this on a heart-shaped box, this might not be the best choice. I want to make a heart-shaped box, but I also want to make just like little cards, like the kind of little cards that you would give out when you were in grade school to all of your classmates, something like that. And I think this is a good choice for little cards. Yeah, I like that better. I don't know about putting a moon. I don't know if I can do that well. I think it would enhance it, but I think it's okay the way it is now. I like this a lot. So we'll probably add like a little saying to that. So it could go on the back of the card, or we could just put it on the front. You know, it could be all one package. Yeah, something like that. So I'm going to make some more of these from my images, and I might generate more images, and I'll upload them to my blog if you like them, if you want them. It looks like we can see a little bit of the old image through, so I just need to put in a background that's pink over here, and I just didn't fill in the white there. We can just fix that. Okay, so I'll probably make a few more of these and put them on my blog if you want them. And then we're going to take one that we can put on a heart-shaped box, and that is going to be our craft for today. At the end of the video, I'll show you what I ended up putting on my blog for you if you want them. But let's move on to making a box. So I'm going to use the pattern from this website, EssyJae, and there's a video tutorial for how to make a paper box from the pattern, and the pattern is here. Now, I didn't exactly follow these instructions, but this is basically what I did because I want to use cardboard. So let's take a look at what I did. So I started by printing the pattern, and you're going to cut 2 pieces of each of the pattern pieces from whatever material you're using. So 2 lid, 2 bottom, and then 2 of each side piece. What I'm using here is a cereal box. So I cut all of the pieces out of the cereal box. And then I folded the side pieces along the lines that you're supposed to fold them along and snipped the bottom of them. So you're going to wrap those around your top and bottom pieces. Now, in her video, she uses hot glue, but I did not think hot glue would be strong enough for my cardboard, so I used a combination of wood glue and hot glue. So a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place, but then wood glue in most places to give it a little more strength. So basically, you take one piece, start at the top of the heart in the middle, and wrap it halfway around the heart, and the folded pieces go on the underside of the bottom, and you glue them down. And you're going to have a little flap at the end, fold that across the bottom of the heart, and then you start your next piece at the very bottom, so it's going to overlap that folded piece, and then wrap around to the top the same way. Then trim off any bottom pieces that are on the flap that extends beyond the middle of the heart, and then you're going to fold that flap to the inside. Now, I did the same thing when I made the top. In her video, she does the top a little bit differently, but I didn't. And then once you have those pieces, you take your second heart-shaped piece and put it on top of all those little flaps to make the top look neat. However, I did not think mine looked very neat. So I think you can make this out of a cereal box, but I felt like my cereal box heart was not very successful. So I ended up tossing this one and creating a box using my Cricut, and instead of using a cereal box, I used some of that cardboard that gets wrapped up into a tube that is inside wrapping paper. So sometimes you've got an actual cardboard tube inside wrapping paper, but sometimes you've got a piece of very thin cardboard that's curled around the end of the paper. And I save those, of course, because I save everything. So what I did was I ironed that on a cotton setting, so a very high setting, and then I had flat cardboard. And I took the pattern and brought it into Photoshop and filled in the hearts. And then I made teeth where you're supposed to cut the little flaps, so where you're supposed to fold and cut. And that way there wouldn't be so much overlap. And then I cut that on my Cricut. And I did have to use additional pressure with the blade. So once I had those pieces punched out of the cardboard, and I did have to use my knife a little bit to get them punched out, I just used hot glue because this cardboard is a little less sturdy than cereal box cardboard. And this cardboard does come in different thicknesses. I'm using a thicker piece. I do have thinner ones that are almost like paper. I also use this when I make Christmas crackers. This is good cardboard for making Christmas crackers. So I just put the top and the bottom of the box together in exactly the way I did for the box that I made out of the cereal box. I only used hot glue. Now, because this is a Valentines-Halloween mashup, I decided to paint my box black, and I'm painting it with this Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in rich black. Now, what I'm also painting here is a heart box, which is a candy box, and I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. So it's a heart-shaped chocolate box. And for both of these, I'm going to paint everything except the top, because the top is where I'm going to put one of my images. So once all of the sides were painted except for the top, and it had all dried, I decided to Mod Podge some images to the tops. And so I printed these images to be the correct size. What I actually did was I scanned in the tops of these boxes and brought them into Photoshop and then scaled my images up so that they would be a good size for the boxes. Now, I wasn't sure about this box with the printing on it, and once I put my image on, I realized that you could see the printing through the little ghosts because they're white. So what I ended up doing was putting a piece of white paper on, and then I put my little ghosts on top of the white paper. And I did iron these. I put some parchment over it and ironed it, again on the cotton setting, to try to flatten out some of the wrinkles. You can see for the other box, I've got the witch and the cat, and I've got that in basically a heart shape, and that's what I put on the smaller box. Once those had dried, I put them upside down on my cutting mat, and I used my box cutter knife to cut the excess. So I didn't try to make them a heart shape before I glued them on. Now you can see with my witch and cat that I didn't quite extend the image as far as I needed to for it to fit well on the box. So what I'm going to do is paint a black border around that, just so you can't see that little bit of white. And I ended up doing that for both boxes. I also wanted the edges of the paper to be black, and I took that opportunity to do any touch-ups that I needed to do. I also cut a piece of cardboard to fit inside the candy box because right now it has little cutouts for the candy, and that's not an insert, that's the actual box. So I cut a heart-shaped piece of cardboard for the inside of that box, hot glued it down, and then painted that black. Once all of that paint and the Mod Podge that I used to adhere the images had dried, I put a coat of Mod Podge over the entire box. And this is matte Mod Podge. Now, I'm not planning on putting any food in here. You might want to seal it a different way if you're planning on putting food that isn't in a wrapper in these. And I thought to finish them off, I'd add a little bit of ribbon. So the ribbon that I ended up putting on the witch and cat box is this red, almost velvety looking, but it's not. It's not velvet. It's just got an interesting texture to it that I got at Joann at Christmas. So I just cut it very straight on one edge and put it at the very top center of the heart, glued it around at the bottom with hot glue, and then at the other end I folded over the edge and glued it down. And then I went through and put glue in at the top of the ribbon because you want to be able to put the box top on without it scrunching the ribbon down. And then for the little ghosts, what I decided to do was make a little bow out of the pink ribbon and just glue that to the top of the little ghost box. Now for my blog, I've uploaded the heart-shaped witch and cat image for you, and then also that image in a square, a different witch and cat in a square, the ghosts in a square, the two cats in a square, the sort of ghost and jack-o'-lantern and heart background in a square, and then a cat with a heart and a witch's hat in a square. And I've uploaded some suggestions for text that you might want to put on the images or on the back of them if you want to use them as cards. So like, you put a spell on me, Valentine, our love is undying, you belong with me, You carve out a special place in my heart. You are my familiar love. We're perfect together. So those are just some suggestions of Halloween's Valentine's mashup sayings. And here are the finished boxes. I'd love to know what you think of this project. Please tell me in the comments. Let me know if you have any favorite art that was AI generated here or a favorite box. Let me know if you've generated any AI art and if you have any tips for me on how to write better prompts. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this sort of content, please subscribe to Crafts the Charm. Thank you for spending time with me today. Take care.